What's cracking? We are live.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Put the torta down and get live.
Get live, get live, he said.
I got yours right now.
Okay, let me put that right there. What's up, Turlock? Loch Ness Monster, Damien, Mob. What's up with you guys, man? What's good in the hood? What do you guys think about it, man? What do you guys think about this beautiful Tuesday evening? What's up elsewhere?
Damn, you notice that none of them are on my channel.
Let me see. Two-way Dave. Mob Nasty's there. Two-way Dave. Yes, what the hell's going on, huh? Two-way Dave, Justin, Hip Hop Nation. There we go. There we go. Nathan.
Subs.
Dub.
You saw them? Oh, I barely saw that you called me too right before the live. Ivan Mora, what's up, big dog?
I got caught up on the 101.
Oh no.
Yeah, you don't want that right now. They're blocking traffic and it's wild shit. A lot of wild stuff going on, man, in this world right now. It's just getting wild. But that's what it is.
What's up, Rice? You see,
Muppin.
he only got a notification for you, so that means they're probably not going out. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't even get my one. Yeah, and there's only 16 people on my channel.
On both your channels, you got more people than I do.
That's crazy. I got your notification on mine. Let's see.
Yeah, what's up, T Stacks, Megan, Rise, Toy Dave,
Now,
Sam Bermudez, Dan Woodsky. What's up, brother? Moises de Castro. Sometimes they do this shit. It's weird, man. Cat with the corn dog. Oh, wait, that's a cold handle. I ain't never seen no cat with a corn dog. Dave, no notification, no notification. YouTube is on some BS. They always are, man.
yeah.
We don't get it, man. We could start it over. What do you think of L Boy giving the Northerners their props? I don't know who L Boy is.
I don't know who he is either, but good for him, man.
Yeah. Sam Romero says, I got guns.
He's not in prison. Is he an upstater? I mean, if he was an upstater, then I understand they have,
yeah, beef.
But a guy from down south, and people always try to pin it where, oh, you're turning your back on the upstaters. No. That's like asking the upstaters to hate somebody that somebody's beefing with down here.
Yeah.
Like that, it doesn't work that way. You have your enemies, and that's who they are.
Yeah, you hate who you hate, and you're cool with who you're cool with, and what's up, Antonio? Cat with the corn dog didn't get a notification for either one of us. Yeah, YouTube's on some bullshit today. It is what it is, man. I got both notifications, Gunner and Dubs. If they were as consistent as they are fucking collecting money, they'd be all right. Tell Compton Pepe in your dead. Don't do it like that. Ice is out. Yeah. Killing someone that on the strip is crazy. Only Tupac killers got away with it. Wasn't right on the main strip, cameras up the ass. Nowadays, you ain't getting away with nothing. There's too many phones, too many ring cameras, too many everything.
Tupac thing happened in the 90s, big dog. That's way different than now.
Yeah. Nowadays, shit. It's crazy. This world's crazy. Everywhere you walk, you're bumping into people. They're on their phones. Just everyone's heads in the sauce. Jesse Alvarez, what's up with it?
Hey, what's up, Cheeks?
What's up, Gunner? I'm a follower of yours, and Finney was my boy. Is that right, Shoe Shine Boxing? What's happening with it, man? So give me the rundown, bro. What's up with Finney, man? Unfortunately, man, it's a sad situation, man. Him and his wife, man. What happened? That's a very unfortunate thing, man. That's the drama of YouTube. Man, social media is a powerful force. People get lost in the game, and you don't know what to expect. You don't know how other people are taking the disrespect.
The comment you just read, I don't even see it at all.
What, Shoe Shine Boxing?
Oh, there it is. So good.
He just Finney was his boy.
I saw that their daughter put a post on TikTok. It's sad, man. You know, she lost both parents. What's up, Petey?
Both parents at the like, yeah. He says, "Want to drop a link and I can come on." Yeah, absolutely. Or we could do that. Let me drop a link, bro. Let me drop a link. Okay.
What's up, Pelon and Fallon?
It's right there. Hey, Mayanessa's in here. What's up, T-Zips? He says, to be so brazen on the strip, crazy. Literally crazy. You have
Yeah, but
to.
like I said in my video, that guy wasn't playing with a full deck, eh? And I think it was just, I think he got tunnel vision, eh? I think he had it in his head if he ever ran into that guy. I mean, he had ran into him before, and I think that guy was huge. That guy Finney's huge. He probably was like, "Fuck that." But to me, Holmes, it's like whatever your issue was with that guy, like why the wife too?
Yes, that's
like
she was trying to break it up. She was like, "Man, don't bring that bullshit."
Well, I said in my video that she had the heart of a woman and the love of a wife. So instead of running from the thing and leaving her husband hanging, she tried to go over there to console it, and then she winds up dead in the process. That's
that right there was pure hatred, Dubs. That's all. That's the only way I could say is pure hatred. He hated that man so bad. Even after he took his life, he still had to hurt him. You know, like that, because she didn't say. And again, we don't know the whole history on. Maybe she had conflict. She talked shit too. I don't know.
She may have, but that's still a woman. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said in my video, if you saw when they were both of the Finney and his wife were on the ground, they were only giving trying to resuscitate him. That means she was dead instantly.
Yeah,
that's
point blank. You know,
I don't respect that.
Yeah, that was crazy the way he did that, and you know that 3 lives are lost. 3 lives are lost in the process, and the only one that suffers are the families. Again, it's reckless. It's fucking it's what happens when people don't know how to control themselves and be adults and converse and have conversation and all that. The beef gets real. And it's crazy. Everyone's always, pull up the rap song, pull up. Motherfuckers will nowadays because they feel like you got to understand when you're disrespected online and there's thousands and thousands of people watching. Some people can't take that. They in their mind they cannot take that. They're like, damn, everyone thinks I'm a punk. I have to prove myself, And then when you're playing with someone who seems like he didn't have a full deck from the beginning, it's nuts. Y'all should do a call-in, says Joshua Brenda. Call-in? What do you mean? Has Sin City been arraigned? Yes. He went to his first court date. They hit him with no bail. He's been charged with 2 counts of open murder and 1 count, I think it was, of assault with a weapon or something like that. But I know he got no bail. And his next court date is June 12th, so it's in a few days. Goose, what's up with it, man? Big heck. He said, that's why there's a thing called blocking. You got to use it. What's up, Antonio? I talk if they only knew. Salute. What's up, brothers?
What's cracking?
What's up with you guys? Yeah. I thought I was having a bad night. Yeti Man Channel, it is what it is. Joshua Brandon. Finney's wife was fighting physically with Manny's wife on Fremont, their first encounter. Yeah, that was just like a couples thing. These couples just they had hatred for each other, it seems. Here we go. We're gonna bring Shoeshine Boxing on, Dubs. What's happening with it, brother?
Hey, what's happening, fellas?
What's cracking?
What's cracking?
Well, Gunnar, I've been following you guys, both you and Dubs, for a while. Am I echoing? Do I have my audio placed enough?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. We could hear you. I think he's trying to turn down his
Okay.
audio. Yeah,
Sorry,
perfect.
I was being unprofessional. I had a device in the background playing.
Mm.
Are we good now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. We're perfect, bro. Can you hear us?
All right, guys. I had my main computer playing you guys in the background. I apologize about that.
Okay,
It's
no.
kind of hard for me to come on here, to come onto any platform. I've talked on my small channel, guys. I've known the perpetrator for 4 years. I grew up in the Mission District. I don't know if you've ever seen some of my comments. I grew up on 24th and Folsom. You know,
Okay.
I was never active, dog. I was all into sports, but all the homies were. If it wasn't for, you know, boxing, wrestling, baseball, I would have probably gone on the wrong path. But I met the dude Manny about 4 years ago because I used to come to Vegas all the time for fights and gambling. And we instantly connected because he was from Salinas and I had been living in San Jose for 20 years. So we had that in common. And in fact, I used to work at a lot of job sites around where his wife is from, Watsonville, you know, Watson and whatnot, in Salinas. But I've been living in Vegas for 2 years now. Finally left the Bay Area. And although I was cool with Manny, had his phone number, I never really pursued a friendship because the truth about him is that he's an ultimate main character. Right? He didn't like people like if you had too much personality, he didn't want you on his channel or on his stream. You know what I'm saying? He had co-main, you know, B players or however you want to say. He wasn't going to have nobody take his shine.
You want to be the center of attention.
Absolutely. And so do I. You know, I think we're both Libras and whatnot, but that's the kind of guy he is. If you're going to take his shine, he didn't have a need for you on his channel. Unless you were a big benefactor, unless you were going to be donating big dollars, he might make some wiggle room.
So do you happen to know, bro, what this all stemmed from as far as where these guys first started to just like go at each other? You know, because it seems like above anything, they were just really at it.
Yeah, dog. And none of the news are reporting on this, and there's a lot of misinformation. So because Finney's my friend, Finney was my friend as of Sunday. I got text messages from him, and that's why I was kind of off. I'm still shaken up. I'm grieving. I'm kind of in shock, trying to make sense of something that's nonsensical. Because they had this squabble. They had this beef. What you guys are saying, beef, but it goes back even before this Halloween incident that the news has picked up on. About 2023, there was a Halloween incident where Manny maced the wife of Finney. So in that video, she had stepped into his space. Both of them were live streaming in front of what they call it Club Clyde, which is this like this DJ that plays, you know, Latin music, and it gets popping. You'll see those videos, man. It gets popping on Fremont Street every weekend. He has probably the biggest circle, and so these live streamers at the time, Manny had capitalized on streaming every Friday and Saturday, and his channel grew up 1,000 people watching that shit. And as soon as other content creators started stepping into what he believed was his territory, he had no part of that. He had kind of accumulated. He's from Salinas, dog. I don't know who his affiliates were in Salinas, but he operated his channel like, you know, like prison politics, gang politics. So he had people who would do his dirty work for him. He would try to make sure that no other live streamers, content creators would be at this circle. Like he protected that shit like it was for real, like it was his turn.
Damn.
There was a particular woman I'm very close with. And she's close friends with someone that was originally Manny's first probably big enemy. And that's a professional football player who's also my friend. Former professional football player. His name is being circulated now. I don't want him to be dragged into the mud because he's a good guy. And I'm starting to see other channels where people are picking up on information about him. He goes by D-Ware. That's not his legal name. He played for the Arizona Cardinals. And I believe he came out of a strong, actually, I believe he comes from Del Paso Heights, which is Sacramento's a strong Norteño neighborhood. A mixed neighborhood now. So he played for the Cardinals. He played for Cowboys. got a lot of money. Somehow he met Manny, they hit it off. They ended up becoming enemies. He branches off and he already had a channel. So he decided, hey, I'm going to have some people locally in Las Vegas stream content for me on my platform, on my channel. So this woman's a lovely woman. She's from Oakland, my friend, Sarah. She started going down on Fremont, and they started to intimidate, bully, harass, make sure she wasn't anywhere near, like, hey, don't film the circle. Get the fuck away from her. So they started to harass her for a while. And he came down there. He's in that Halloween video, D-Ware. They came down there, and it looks like their intention was to let Manny know, you don't fucking run this shit. You don't own this shit. This is a public street. Anybody could be here. Stop harassing her. Stop harassing this woman. None of the men did that. It was Finney's wife. In that Halloween video, you will see Finney's wife straight up put the camera on Manny. And if you watch in slow motion, it looks like he tapped her first to get the fuck out of my face. She ends up hitting him with the gimbal stick, and then a melee erupts. A lot of people that were just standbyers got hit, and Manny pulled out the mace and maced a bunch of people. Actually, got maced, but he used it against dude's Finney's wife. That same weekend, Finney already had a sports channel. That's why I got a small sports channel, very small. He had a sports channel. So he went on his live, and people knew that he got assaulted because it was caught on a live stream. Boy, they knew his wife got maced. They both got maced. He didn't take any physical action. He wasn't able to. I mean, he had that mace like blinding him. He wasn't able to get at Manny and fight him or anything. Yeah. He goes live, hundreds and hundreds of people he's never seen in his life. He got 200 followers. Hundreds and hundreds of people like, fuck, dude. We just saw
the drama. Yeah.
They saw the drama. 800, 900 people. He's like, oh, shit. A lot of people interested in my story. I guess the following week, he decides, oh, let me come on the air, use StreamYard. I heard it's free. Let me come on the air and talk about what happened. Instantly, dog. Now, he only had 200 subs, 500-600 people watching live. That was the beginning of his channel, his journey. He was never set out to be what people are going to call a reaction channel, criticism channel, whatever they want to call it now. They're actually calling it cyberbully, that he was a cyberbully.
He piggybacked off that one incident to blow his channel up, basically.
And even his best friend, one of his best friends, D-Ware, came on there and said, this shit ain't going nowhere, dog. Just stop doing it. Within a few weeks, he never grew exponentially in subscribers. He doubled his subscribers over his death. But he had 5, 6, 7, 1,000 people watching his channel. But what is important for everybody to know who doesn't know what's going on in this backstory, because it's a small Las Vegas content creator community, is that people had already been stopped following Sin City Family because of he has to take accountability. He never took accountability for why people left his channel. There was a whole slew of events of violence, attacks against women, not bullying in real life, like bullying. There was an incident where he came after another content creator and he sent 2 of his guys. Actually, one of the guys was decent. I ended up knowing this guy who went by the name of Grumpy. That kid Grumpy was sent to go attack another live streamer. Happened on camera. That went viral. That kid ended up dying in a horrific DUI crash the same night he was hanging with Manny. People saw that Manny had capitalized financially. Doc, right now, there's going to be a vigil for my boy Finney, and I'm not going because I can't stand the fact that people are capitalizing, monetizing. I'm sure, dog. I won't do it. I won't do it. There, like, if somebody was live streaming my brother's funeral or a vigil, get the fuck out of here. I just can't. I'm not down with that. I'm not down there right now in front of the Bellagio. But I said my piece to my channel. I spread the GoFundMe. Yeah. But that incident, that was just one of the many incidents that people started leaving his channel, right? And they started going over to Finney's channel to vent their frustrations with Manny. And he used to openly brag that he had over 4,000 people blocked. So off the jump, you have 4,000 people who are like, I fucking hate that dude. Why'd you block me? I'm gonna go watch this guy. An instant audience. And it took off. I mean, I know you guys are like top content creators, but for somebody with just a couple thousand subs to see 500, 600, 700 people, I see Felipe Esparza, one of the best comedians in America, on his YouTube channel doesn't get 700, 800 people watching him on his podcast. And he's got Netflix specials. And there are people out there saying Finney didn't have no traction as a content creator, but it was mainly because people weren't subscribing because they were probably ashamed to say, I'm enjoying this shit talking, bashing, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm not saying I support what he was doing on his platform, but I supported him as a human being because he was my friend off camera. And he didn't have a fucking mean bone in him. He thought the night he got shot, you could see in his face, he did not see a threat from Manny. He didn't register it. He didn't register that he was coming up to him. In my opinion, I've seen the video too many times. It's hard to see your homeboy get shot on TV, circulating. It's fucking wild. If you watch the reaction time between the camera frames, I've calculated it at 1.26 seconds to 1.33 seconds between the shot, he's in frame and the first shot. If I'm a district attorney, a prosecuting attorney, I'm going to bring in an expert and I'm going to have them demonstrate in front of an audience how fast you can get your concealed carry permit, your concealed carry weapon out of your holster and make that decision that there's a threat. And I'm willing to say that not even a top law enforcement person can get the pistol out of a concealed carry holster in 1.26 seconds.
It happened pretty fast. The situation went down pretty fast.
You can go watch it, and I would take that approach in front of a jury and say, this guy is a former FBI agent. He's an expert. He can't get his gun out and determine there's a threat. Because the truth of the matter is that Manny walked up to him with the handgun in his hand, already out. He circled back and shot him. He walked by him the first time and circled back with the handgun in hand already to execute my boy. So
here's a question, bro. So was it to the point of antagonizing? I mean, Finney said, you know what? Hey, I'm going to be over there. I'm going to be here. And we seen where Manny he did the video where he's cruising up and down saying he was going to casino looking for him. At that point, bro.
That was the morning before too.
Yeah, the morning before. At that point, do you think decision made, mind made up, this is where he's going with it, and all over, you're saying it all stems from, I mean, there was a few incidences hands-on with the wives and everything, but you're saying that all this is based on losing subscribers and views, and because Manny felt that Finney was gaining traction, basically because of him, because of down talking him. So that's all, that is straight up, this is what happened. This was the end game right here, the incident. All because of that? Did they ever fight? Was there ever hands-on with them?
There's a really important piece of information to point out. Is that when I met Manny sometime in about 4 years back, he had made a very important decision in his life that even though he didn't have a huge YouTube channel, it was COVID, he decided he was going to quit his full-time job that was providing money for his family. He was going to decide, I'm going to quit my job because on the weekends, I'm making some good super chat money already, live streaming out, partying. When he quit his job, he put all his faith into the revenue from donations because he probably didn't get monetization from ads. And as someone who live streams, if you live stream on downtown Las Vegas, the music won't even allow you to make ad revenue.
Copyright.
Right. So he was going to depend 100% on super chats and cash apps, PayPals to provide for his family. He had no other income.
And you know what? And that right there is crazy. How long did he have his YouTube channel?
he's been having his channel for a long time. The thing is, if now you can't go see it, but he actually tried to have a rap career coming out of Salinas. He had put out an album. You guys, you won't be able to see it now, right? They took it all down, but he tried to launch a rap career out of Salinas, and he always had high aspirations to be an entertainer, actor. He professed it all the time. I want to be an actor. You know, he thought that he was going to get found by the entertainment industry from his channel, that he was going to somehow, hey, we're not even going to cast, hey, come to Hollywood. We got a role perfect for you. Like, he was just going to get handed to him. So he always had these, hey, bro, I was attracted to that because, like I said, when I first met him, I'm like, that takes a lot of fucking balls. I got respect for that. Like, you're really going to put all your eggs into this basket, like not knowing. He's like, man, you got to pursue your dreams. That was one of the things about him. He was very charismatic at first, man. When he built his audience, he was very charismatic, and he was talking to a lot of people. It was COVID era. There was no Latino content creators out of the Las Vegas, basket, and he was it. And so he instantly was like gaining traction with the Latino community and then everybody else.
So he monopolized that area and was holding it down. Basically, he that boggles my mind right there, Dubs and Shoeshine, the way he was able to basically debo that area, like, hey, I ain't having no one come in my area. This is me. I'm holding it down. I got here.
The reason why I asked how old his channel was is because he said that he basically made that his number one source of income. He quit his job, right? Mm-hmm. And you said that because of the music he couldn't monetize. And that's mind-blowing to me, because all you have to do is download the damn video to CapCut, remove all the music, and then repost it, and you make a bunch of money. So for him to, I'm just trying to get like how this dude's thought process. It doesn't seem like he's all there. Like,
yes. And that was my next question, Shoeshine. And that's my next question. You having interaction with him and Finney, did you see like, man, this guy Manny is not, he has a screw loose? Like, did you see it? Like JCat activities, Now,
early on, he didn't exhibit any of that behavior. It was after I left his channel as a supporter. I remember one time I saw him on Fremont Street, and he's like, "Where you been, homie?" And I'm like, "You know what, dog? I still watch you. I guess you could say I'm a silent supporter, silent watcher. I wasn't involved in his community anymore because he fucked over so many people that I knew personally. I mean, he just like the list kept growing and growing. So I'm like, I'm done with him too. I got to be done with him before he fucks me over. I can't be like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but we always kept it respectable. Like even just months ago, I saw him and was respectable. I don't know. I always kept it respectable, dog. I never disrespected him publicly. He never disrespected me. Like I said, a lot of people left his channel, and I became friends with Finney about 2-3 years ago. His boy D Ware, who I said was a football player, NFL player. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you. Let's try to do a football pick show, like where we do football picks." Yeah. So, and that was something Finney wanted to do on YouTube creatively, was to have a football betting show.
So, just go ahead, Dubs.
There's somebody in the chat, Evil Sativa, who is bringing up D-Ware. He's brought him up several times, and he's saying, I mean, maybe he's saying, I guess D-Ware is the one that brought Finney into this. I guess got them to meet somehow or something. I don't know. I'm just reading his stuff, and he's saying here D-Ware should be accountable for something. D-Ware, the person accountable for what happened is the person that pulled the gun out.
Yes, absolutely. And that leads me to my next question.
Wait. I'm asking him, did D-Ware make the introduction between them two, or did they meet some other way?
To my knowledge, Finney was an early supporter and watcher of Manny. Okay. Way back. He didn't meet. If they met, Finney met Derek Ware because of that channel. Like they lived in Phoenix. They both live in the Phoenix area, so they're like, "Oh shit, they hit it off and they became homies." But Finney's, if you want to say his distaste for Manny came way before that. Like I said, way before even that Halloween incident. There had been many events publicly and whatnot that people had grown tired of Manny and left his channel because of the shit that they had seen transpire. So Finney already whatever you want to say, he disliked Manny heavily disliked him. On that night on Halloween in 2023, when that melee happened and was recorded, he was part of a big group that was there to party, you know. And I don't think Manny wanted anybody there. He definitely didn't want D Ware there in his area, his circle, and that's why it popped off. Like I said, that ended up being the precipice for the channel launching, the weekly podcast dedicated to trolling or, you know, exposing.
Okay. So Spencer, excuse me, Eva says that Manny is his dog. So this is interesting because you're close with Finney. You knew both, and then we have somebody who knows Manny, and we're just trying to figure out. I mean, you know, like you said, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yes.
And people who are friends with people, you're always going to see them through a different light. You know what I mean? And we're trying to be fair. We didn't know that you were going to be in our chat, and you actually knew these people. So this is something different.
But Dubs, the reason I'm here is because I thought Gunner's video today was unbiased. You know what I mean? I trust you guys. I watch you guys, and I wasn't planning on coming on here. Like I said, there's a vigil right now. As far as Manny, I don't know what was going on in his head. I find it hard to believe that there were no more choices, that was the only choice he had left. And I want to keep it. I want to keep it the focus on the victims, because there's a lot of children involved in this whose lives have been ruined and affected for the rest of their life. And I want to keep the focus entirely on the victims and the children. I could change my channel to a true crime channel tomorrow and start just talking about this, but there's so many people that are content vultures right now that are like, fuck it, I'm going to talk about this. They have no understanding of the backstories, or they don't have any personal relations, and I'm not going to do that. I'm choosing not to do that. I'll probably do this one interview and nothing more. If you love Manny, you supported him, that's your friend. Everybody makes mistakes, but this one's pretty damn serious, man. This
is an ultimate. You can't come back from this one. This no longer became a mistake when he put that gun in his hand. It became straight up what it was, what we've seen. Here, trip out on this. So do you honestly, in your opinion, because you've interacted with both of these guys, and you said, and I agree, man, it seems like, and me and Dubs talked about this prior, that it seemed like Manny, because he put so much stock into his channel, because that's all he cared about, and with what they considered cyberbullying, which what they figured was going on, or what I seen, you know, I've seen some videos where it seemed like Finney was just playing. Seemed like Finney didn't take it really that serious, just seen it as a way to grow his channel, kind of latched onto something and went, and whereas Manny took it super serious. Do you think in that instant, like you said, Finney didn't see it coming, or he didn't think Manny had that in him? Like, did you think, like, Finney going out there on the strip, okay, shit could possibly go down, there's threats being made, but do you think in that instant he wasn't even expecting nothing like this ever to happen? Like, this guy's not about this, like that life like this?
Yeah.
Or do you think he thought maybe, you know?
He expressed last week a little bit of concern about going to Las Vegas. Homeboy was married in Las Vegas. His birthday was coming up. His wedding anniversary was coming up. And I think everyone underestimated how far Manny was gonna go to exert revenge or perceive revenge. You know, I didn't think Manny was capable of doing that myself. I seen Manny when he had people tell you 4 years ago he attracted a lot of people. He appeared to be a really family guy, a good family guy. Everybody has their limit, but I'm not condoning that violence at all. I'm not going to condone that, the decision he made. He had multiple opportunities. I'm going to say it right now because you see the title on my channel. I covered the sport of boxing in the fight capital of the world. He had multiple opportunities, including financial opportunities, to do celebrity boxing, YouTube boxing. Like I think you did something in Salinas too, right, Gunner? He had multiple opportunities presented to him to fight Finney and get the grudge match over with, and get this grudge match out the way.
Oh, so there was actually an opportunity for them to fight it out, do it the peaceful way with gloves on.
But I mean, that's cool that there was that opportunity, Holmes. The
doesn't mean they had to take it. Yeah,
the guy was like fucking a foot and a half bigger than that guy. Like, what was he gonna do? So the guy, so Manny feels like he's being offended by an individual, and then he's gonna go in there and get clowned. I'm sure. I mean, I get why he wouldn't do it, but I don't know if you saw my video today. I saw I think the guy's name is Atozy, Atozy, and he did a video on this thing, right? And he showed a live stream where Finney and some other guys were on the live, and Finney was saying, you know, all I got to do is report Manny's channel one more time and it's going to get took down, and then he'll kill himself, and then we're all laughing about it. And I told Gunner, I said, I'm sure now it makes more sense how you said that was his only source of income. That's how he took care of his family. And then he was so like, I don't know, the way he was trying to like bully everybody out of the spot. I told Gunner, and I didn't know that part of what you brought up. I said, when he's hearing these dudes say, oh, these fools they think I'm gonna kill myself, I'm gonna go kill you. That could have been something, I don't know. But because of the way he was acting in that car, and he said, I'm gonna catch you at a red light, and he was doing all this, the dude's mind was made up. And I don't know if we'll never know if Finney and his wife saw that the day before it happened. They saw that video, but it seemed clear that he was talking about doing some gunplay when he caught him in Las Vegas, you know. So I don't know. You know, the way you're describing him, wanting to control a fucking public area, not wanting anybody to be his equal. I mean, that's a psychopathic trait. That's narcissism right there. You know?
I mean, however you want to call it. I mean, he was extremely competitive. I mean, he was competitive. He self-described himself as the king of Fremont. You know, that was his shit. And so he absolutely had a problem with competition, and he felt like he could squash the competition. And there's a lot of big egos on these YouTube streets, as you guys know. Finney's stature, size, former football player himself, man. He obviously, when he started to get a taste of success on YouTube, that had to have a part in it. Both of these guys had tremendous personalities, and tremendous personalities come tremendous egos.
And it's crazy, man, because these guys in another life could have been partners and could have assisted each other. We always say that behind the scenes, man, if more YouTube content creators or people in general assisted each other, there'd be a lot more money. There'd be a lot more everything positive, you know. But
Gunner, everyone's trying to nail on the head.
Everyone's trying to wear the crown. It's a trip, you know.
Gunner, you hit the nail on the head, because I was talking to a homeboy that was friends with Manny from the very beginning as well. Had gifted him a lot of cool things. Had gifted him like 49er merchandise back in the day, like really expensive stuff. And he was kicked to the curb by Manny years ago. And he reached out to me because he was also close friends. This guy was talking to the wife, Bubbly, the day of the murder. So yesterday, my boy called me, and he had mentioned that there was no thought process in Manny to see the possibility of how they could both. They had a symbiotic relation, guys. They needed each other, because that drama was keeping people interested in both of their channels.
Yeah, it was fueling the fire of their channels, and it does. Drama does. Unfortunately, in social media, drama is what fuels channels. If you have no content, if you don't have the personality, then drama is what people lean to. But at the end of the day, just like in this incident, the drama can only go so far until it has to become real, right? And man, this is very unfortunate.
I want to go ahead, because I'm seeing in the chat, there's some people like myself who don't watch TV. There's people that are coming in the chat and they're like, what happened? I don't even know what happened. So what happened was there were two YouTubers that didn't like each other. They had I guess some bad interactions over a period of time, and one of them killed the other one along with his wife. He killed his YouTube rival and the YouTube rival's wife right there in Las Vegas on YouTube. And so I didn't what's the homie's name right here?
This is the homeboy Shoe Shine.
And so Shoe Shine knew them both, so he blessed us with the interview just to say what he knows about the individuals and what he's aware of in their dealings with each other.
Yeah. And again, I just want to make sure everybody knows I never had a problem with Manny. I left his community a long time ago. He always was very respectful to me, and I always kept it respectful with him. But I ended up becoming personal friends with Finney because he was a big fight fan, and I'm out here in Vegas. He wanted to go hit up into the big fights, you know, boxing fans, sports fans. I became very friendly with him and Bubbly. And I don't even can say here that I supported what he was doing using his platform, because there was a lot of things that I didn't enjoy, particularly like what was going on his channel as far as body shaming or talking about another man's wife. In my book, that's grounds for a scrap.
Yeah.
But it never transpired. Dubs, you said he was a lot smaller, a lot taller. There was many different ways they could have resolved this, and I felt a lot of guilt yesterday. I still had Manny in my contacts. I was friends with Finney. I never thought that this shit was going to happen. In the back of my mind, I always thought, could I mediate this? Could I do something with this? Other people have approached them about, hey, you guys have a beef. Let's go and Floyd Mayweather's gym, rent the gym for an hour and have them scrap, televise it, show it to their audiences for members only. People actually had ideas like that, and I thought, could I be the mediator? But my friend, who I just told you was on the phone with Bubbly the day of the murder, said, you would never get through to Manny, dog. You know that. You would have never convinced. He didn't listen to his brothers. He didn't listen to nobody. He made all
pretty independent person that had his mind made up. I see this lady. What's up, West? And she's been making a lot of comments. And people pick sides in beefs and on YouTube. You like who you like, and we experience it a lot. It's hard to change people's minds. You got to let the content of your character change people's minds. Once they are fixated on whether they like you or not for whatever reason, that's what it is. But here's the thing that I have to address. I don't know exactly, and I know Finney was your friend. I don't know exactly the extent of the cyberbullying or the consistent talking about Manny was, but with this girl, I guess she's, she knows a little bit about it. She said that there was addresses being put out, information being put out, like a lot of personal things on Finney's side. Do you think he was just doing that because he was at a point where like, this is going to grow my channel?
The doxing incident happened on both sides. There was an incident where Manny posted Finney's brand new house information on Craigslist and said, come get these free Newports. I stopped smoking cigarettes. Offered 30 packs of cigarettes and placed Finney's address. The doxing would happen on both sides. But one thing that I'll say about Manny, which is factual, was that he tried the hardest he could to internalize what was going on and not show the beef on his channel. He would try his hardest to contain himself. And it got
Manny?
Yeah, Manny did try to. See, Finney's weekly podcast was about that other channel.
Yeah, his whole focus, Dubs, was consistent on Manny.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's where you could see where they drove him mad. You could see imagine if someone's consistently talking about your wife every chance he gets, and he's talking about your channel and trying to destroy what you feel you've built, especially when you have a behavioral pattern of being that one. Man, it's crazy. I could see this was inevitable. This is the situation in Manny's head was do or die. I got to.
And see, this is the thing, because earlier I wanted to say, the conversation kept going, but when you talked about the victims of this, right? I know that it's not popular, right? But me, having been convicted of murder, when we think of the victims, we have to remember that Manny victimized his own family as well. They are victims, because what's going to happen now is there's going to be a lot of people in the community over there in Las Vegas, over there in Nevada, who are going to point and say, that's that dude, that crazy ass dude's wife. Hey, that's his crazy ass kid. That's crazy. Those kids are his crazy ass kids. You know what I mean? And they're gonna have to live with that for the rest of their lives. What Manny did, it affected his wife and if he had any kids with her, and they're victims as well. And a lot of times people forget, when they think of the victims, they think of the person who was murdered, and that family is the only victim. Manny didn't consider his wife and kids in this. I think I didn't know that. So for every Tuesday, I think homeboy said right here, for 5 hours a day, Finney would just talk shit about this man.
You know how live streams go. Sometimes for the past 2 years, they'd go 3 hours. Sometimes there'd be 800 people, and you're like, I can't turn off the show. I can't turn off the show. The show.
I get it.
So start at 7 o'clock, maybe end at midnight, because so many people were like, shit. And I'm gonna keep it real. He didn't always just talk. He didn't just talk about his popularity grew, and he would branch off and talk about other shit, including other creators, which I didn't agree with that. And I definitely didn't condone body shaming and a lot of the what's considered cyberbullying. But I'm telling you that off camera, Finney was a good guy, man. He had a good heart. He didn't. All he wanted was an apology for Manny, and the channel grew like a monster. It grew. It had its own, started snowballing so much that I don't think he was able to turn it off. I think he was having fun, and he just was trying to get I think he was really just trying to get an apology. He said it himself on his channel. He told me personally, once that dude Manny apologizes to me for spraying mace in my wife's face, I'll stop.
It was that one instant that, so in his mind, it was like, hey, you disrespected my wife and hurt her, so I'm going to continue to go in on you. And then at the same time, it was like a two-edged sword. He's going in on him for that particular reason, but then he's gaining popularity and watches and views, and that becomes addicting as a YouTube content creator. When you're blowing up and you're like, oh yeah, if this is what they want to hear, I got this all day for them, So I could see that situation where behind the scenes, these were probably both two cool individuals that could have actually been friends if they just had a conversation, man. It's hard because, people are not willing to do that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach, very much. We appreciate that. Yeah, unfortunately, man, for Finney, I don't know. I seen someone, they said that Manny had 3 children. How many children did Finney have?
Finney, I believe, had 5 children and a beautiful grandchild. And I'm really not. I'll tell you right now, I'm not happy about these narratives going around that could potentially, on YouTube, cause racial tension, because Finney's family was mixed race, and his grandson was mixed Mexican, and his neighbors are Mexican. Finney had love for everybody.
So that's
Mexican people in his family.
That's been brought up.
Yeah, there's people. I'm on here because I want to stop the misinformation going on, and people may make this into a racial issue. I've been seeing comments.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. People saying that, it could be racially motivated. They always do that. I don't think it had anything to do with any type of racial motivation, like you're saying, bro.
Yeah, Manny had. You could go back and watch the melee video from Halloween that they're going to be circulating. Manny had, a black security guard that was his close friend. Finney has Mexican friends. Manny allowed people on his channel that were transgender, gay. He let everybody in. I can't say nothing about Manny for that. He let everybody into his crew, his channel, and Finney did as well. There's no racial undertones going on here.
Yeah,
except people that want to make it. Except people that want to make it that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's an unfortunate situation. So
wait.
Go ahead, Dubs.
Real quick, I'm reading the post of Finney's daughter, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I probably wouldn't even make it through it because this is a child talking about her parents. But I'm gonna read a part. She says, "My dad and I shared a birthday that's coming up this Saturday, June 14th. I never imagined I'd have to face it without him. And with Father's Day right after is just so unreal. I'm at a loss for words. The man who raised me, protected me, and loved me isn't here." So that's his daughter. It's a long post. You guys can find it on TikTok.
If you don't mind, guys, I'm just trying to keep my mind on the children. Like you said, that burying one person is incredibly expensive. But
I said that in my video.
If you guys could share his GoFundMe, or at least, it's on Finney the Legend's post. His daughter put the post up. I myself donated. It's really expensive. They have to transport the bodies across state.
And there's 2. That's 2 funerals.
Not one body.
I said it in my video today that the financial burden of burying one person in your family is high. 2 people at the same time. Man.
Yeah. I don't know, Shushan, if you have my TikTok, or if you're on our Discord, but if you could reach out and forward, or I guess I'd have to go look at Finney's channel, and to get that, then I can post it on my channel, and I'm willing to post it, because that's, unfortunately, man, that's too that's a lot to bear. That's a big burden to bear for the family that didn't expect this. Again, at the same time too, man, this is a perfect example, and for people to look and see when you antagonize individuals on both sides, when this constant bickering of back and forth for views or to build a channel, man, you're victimizing all the way. Everybody is a victim in this situation. Manny also, even though he's the person who pulled this trigger, he felt he was being victimized, and his family too, and his kids, they lost a father as well. It's just a no-win situation for everyone, man. Of course, Finney and his wife paid the ultimate price. but Manny is a dead man walking as well. You know, he's gonna do life in prison. I don't think he'll ever get any get backs until it really isn't. It doesn't matter anymore. And it's just, man, it's a crazy story. And for it to happen on live, the culmination of what this was, YouTube beef, and to ultimately end on a live is crazy. Both the channels were trying to build.
Dog, I was about to go to sleep on Sunday. It was my primo in San Francisco that hit me up. I checked my phone before going to bed. I gotta go to bed early. And he says, "Hey, dude, Finney got shot by Manny." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." That was what the text was. He's like, "No, here's the clip. Here's the link." And I didn't sleep all of Sunday night, man. I was so disturbed by what I had seen, because I got text messages from Finney saying, "Man, I gotta hit you up. I gotta tap in when I'm there," which was this weekend, and he didn't tap in. And it could have been a blessing, because I don't know what was going on in Manny's mind. To be honest, he a lot of more people could have been hurt on Sunday. Manny was a very trained marksman. He spent a lot of time at gun ranges in Las Vegas. He had a carry permit. He would live stream gun range, and he was a very good marksman. A lot of people, if it had not been for that, there was girls celebrating their birthdays behind Finney. There was
babies crying.
There was a baby. Had he not been trained like that, other people could have been hurt. And I don't know if I had been down there, could I have been collateral damage, because he didn't give what was going on in his mind.
Yeah,
you know, anybody could have been a victim that was with him at the time. Finney was supposed to meet up with other people, and some of them I know had said they were late. I don't know if they would have been casualties too. It could have been much worse. It's already bad enough. Yes, by the way, Manny does have 3 children, 2 of them school age, and it's going to be really difficult for them too to go back to school next year. With his dad being constantly in the media. This is a story that I'm just blown away that has affected me, someone personally who knows them, and that is probably going to take off as a viral true crime case. But there's so much to be learned from this, and that as you guys, as fellow content creators in your genre, about, you know, redemption, stories of redemption, cyberbullying being a big issue right now all over the U.S. Well, what is YouTube going to do?
This is the real quick. Evil Sativa says, I was in prison in the 90s. I don't know what a JCAT is. JCAT is actually a prison term out here in California. It stands for category J. It's somebody that's on a hot medication. They have mental issues, and instead of dudes on the yard calling somebody a category J, they call them JCAT, and then it turned into, you know, somebody's, you know, being an idiot, you know, or, you know, clowning too much. You say, oh, that vato's acting like a JCAT. But
JCATing out.
It's somebody that's on medication for mental issues.
Yes. So I have one more question for you, Shushan.
We could post his link if somebody can find it.
Yeah. If we can find the homie's link, we could post it here. I have one more question. So the whole purpose of Finney going to Vegas in the first place, right, was, and I know this was your friend, but what is it, to antagonize the situation and get content, or did they have a different purpose? Was it just to visit friends and have a vacation? Why was he there? You know,
Finney was an avid gambler, and he had comps. He had enough comps for MGM. He's been coming to Las Vegas since early 2000s. He got married in Las Vegas. He was going to celebrate his wedding anniversary on 7/7/07. I myself got married a week after him in Las Vegas. They were there to celebrate his birthday and an early wedding anniversary. 100%. I don't believe he believed in his heart that Manny would do what he did. I think he was in shock. At best, he may have thought that Manny was going to finally square up and throw hands.
And this is something I've talked about a bunch of times in videos. Gunner's talked about it too. Not everybody has the same definition of a fair fight. You know, when you're squaring off with somebody in a street fight who's 100 pounds heavier than you, then a fair fight is having a weapon in your hand. You know, we don't all, when we're going to engage in violence, we don't get to determine the other person's interpretation of violence, you know? And that's why we as grown people should understand when we're getting into situations that, hey, this could be crazy. And not to, you know, I don't have a dog in this fight. We're just trying to get the truth out there. You know, we got lucky. We just wanted to talk and get opinions. But if a man is willing to pepper spray your wife, then you should know everything's on the table with that guy.
Yeah.
It's just the way my brain works. You do something to my wife, you know, now I'm going to have to take it to a different level, you know, and
I feel what you're saying is fair. There's a lot to be learned from for all people involved that watch as YouTube consumers and also YouTube content creators. That don't underestimate people. Don't ever underestimate threats. I don't personally live stream. I podcast like you guys are doing right here.
Yeah.
And the idea of now, like, I get requests from people, my subscribers, to go down on Fremont Street and stick your camera out there for 4 or 5 hours. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Is dangerous as fuck.
Too dangerous.
When you live stream, you are not having situational awareness. You're not looking to your left or right. You're focused on what the chat is saying. You're trying to interact with the chat, and it makes you an easy mark. And I've seen a lot of content creators. One friend in particular was sucker punched and dropped. Had no idea he had one drink in his hand and the gimbal in the other hand, and didn't see the punch coming from somebody that didn't like him. They don't even know who it was. And it's not like the police is going to do anything for it to help you out in that situation. They was long gone while he was unconscious. You know, he didn't see that punch coming right on the jaw. I'm not going to go do that and put my safety at risk or put my wife's safety at risk to get clip views. But there are plenty of people right now in Las Vegas trying to launch YouTube careers that are willing to do that because they saw the success early on during COVID of a lot of these big YouTube content creators out here that are willing to go out and do that. Unfortunately, so tragically, that my boy, you know, whatever you want to say, he just didn't anticipate it. If you want to say he was lacking, caught slipping.
I don't even see it as lacking or caught slipping. I think he just didn't take the threat serious, bro. You know, and me personally, and I think the prison background, the gang background pays dividends, right? Because it makes your situational awareness go way up. Anytime I walk in a room, we're aware. You know, people that have been locked up on yards were aware. And I look at everything. The moment I would have seen this guy doing videos in the gun range, knowing that he has a concealed carry, knowing he has it on him, knowing that he's willing to pull weaponry out, I would have been very cautious, you know, and aware of my situation. But I get it, man. You know, some people are carefree and they're more like, you know, it ain't that serious. But when it gets to putting people's addresses, when it gets to body shaming, when it gets to that point, like Dub says, man, everything's on the table, you know, and it's unfortunate. So I know you do a boxing channel, bro. We're gonna get up out of here in a minute, but I have one question, and I think Dubs and this is we're gonna take it to a whole different topic right here, bro, because I know you do what you do. Canelo or Benavidez?
Benavidez right now. I've been to all his media workouts that have been in Las Vegas since I lived here.
You trying to argue with me, fool? Fucking stared at me too like you did something.
I don't know who you guys pick now, Canelo versus Benavidez.
No, here's
I don't think it's gonna happen. But go ahead.
No, I don't either. But here's my point. This is what I always say. Benavidez goes straight forward, straight back. You can't fight Canelo like that. Canelo has slow feet. He doesn't cut the ring off right. We already know that he's slow, but he hits hard. Benavidez fought the same. Benavidez and Canelo both fought Plant. Plant survived with Benavidez and did not with Canelo. I don't know. You know, I don't know how this fucking dude thinks he brought in an expert, a fucking ringer.
I just want an outside opinion, bro. That's all I want.
First off, shout out to Caleb Plant, who has the Latino audience on lock. But his past fight, I was there for it.
I like him.
Armando Resendez of Mexico came in and shocked the entire venue. Caleb Plant is on the back nine. The back nine, you know, is a reference that is your prime is peaked. You've already passed your peak. And he's been in some tough wars. And the last fight he had with Canelo Alvarez, where he was knocked out, that was one of the best performances Canelo has done in recent memory. The last time he's actually knocked out somebody. Canelo's also on the back nine. And Terrence Crawford, he's probably also on his back nine because boxing is a young man's sport. People see me and they go, dude, you still fight? Bro, I'm in my late 40s. I'm not fighting. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of injuries over the years. I'm not fighting. If I could stay fit, it's a challenge. But boxing is a young man's sport. And 37, for some people, you might still be very good. Mayweather was great at 37 still.
It was his style, though.
Yeah,
you know,
great defense.
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford is probably, he hasn't been in too many wars. He's been inactive. He's really healthy. He's probably his 37.
Yeah.
He's preserved, and it might
Mhm.
be to his benefit against Canelo Alvarez, who I think is now on the back nine. But it's going to be the biggest fight of the year. It's probably going to be one of these type of fights that's the best fight in 10 years. It may not be a great fight when you're there in person. It might not materialize. That happens. Mayweather versus Pacquiao didn't materialize into a good fight.
But just the names and the atmosphere and the whole
names,
buzz.
We're looking at potential. We're hoping that UNLV will give up the date in Las Vegas, and we're going to see the first boxing event at Allegiant Stadium, the home of the Las Vegas Raiders. That's all that's left to be done. For the first time, Canelo will fill up a stadium on the West Coast. That's what we hope to see. And like I said, this show was, you guys were wanting to know about Finney, but Finney was a huge boxing fan, and we were supposed to go as a big group to that fight in September. So I just asked. I said a little prayer. I said, tap me on the shoulder, let me know you're there with us, watching it, enjoying it up there.
All right, man. We appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for shedding some light, man. Thank you for watching mine and Dub's channel. You guys go subscribe to Shoe Shine Boxing, man. We appreciate you. Finney, if you can get Finney's GoFundMe to me through either my TikTok or the Discord, man, I'd appreciate that. I will post it for you, no doubt about it. Rest in peace to your friend and his wife, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I want everyone to know, Dubs, I'm a victim in this to sorts of that. I'm with a lot of people who are hurting right now because people knew both of these players. There's a lot of people who knew both of them, and then we're in utter shock in this community that somebody did that to somebody else, that we couldn't get beyond it. And I see Jimenez. Shout out to Jimenez in there. We couldn't mediate. We weren't able to prevent. That was entirely preventable. I hope something good comes out of this. I hope something really good comes out of this, guys. Thank you for your time. If you guys need any more reference during the case, this is going to be a true crime sensation. If you guys just hit me up.
Okay. And before we go, thank you for jumping on with us. Before we go, you guys, I believe it at 9 o'clock is going to be on the G-Lu show. Those of you, if you like good music, go over to the G-Lu show. If we can put the link up on all the channels.
Yes,
and we're going to get on out of here.
You guys go support the G-Lu show. Smoothest, most playerist, most I just made that word up, players. Most smoothest fucking channel on YouTube if you want to listen to good oldies, good music, good mixes. That guy right there, his channel is unbiased. There's no drama. You go in there, you listen to good music, you meet good people. Just a great atmosphere, man. Go tap in with G. LeBeau. G. LeBeau is doing this thing, the G-Lu show.
I see him on one of the channels.
Again, man, we kind of stumbled into this interview with this man, and it was good to get two different perspectives, Dubs. Of how Manny really was. I didn't know that he was like trying to hold it down. Like, this is my area. You can't be in Vegas. Is fucking world renowned. People go there from all over the world to try to monopolize. It's crazy.
But to also find out that Manny had content and Finney's content was Manny.
Yes. There was a lot of antagonizing going on there.
So for your whole channel to be about one individual.
Yeah, you could see where
live and clowning. I mean, I could see where it could make somebody be like, you fucking talk about me constantly and then you come to my city.
We've been through that, Dubs. We've been through that with individuals where they went on 6-7 months runs of just us every day. And it's like,
but even those guys have never gone in on us to where
to that level.
Day doing lives, because they won't, most of them, they don't ever show their faces. But I mean, I think even the people that troll us, that right there was righteous animosity. I don't think the guys that troll us have animosity. They don't like us for whatever.
Nah, they're just trying to get a view. They're trying to be relevant.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That becomes obsessive when you're doing live streams about somebody. And I'm not talking shit about the guy. His wife was pepper sprayed, but I'm sure in Manny's mind there was a reason. I just can't victimize a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways, man, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you. We went over an hour. We're supposed to keep it short. We didn't expect that. So again, we appreciate you for showing up, man.
Thank you guys, man. You guys got a little bit of the backstory on both sides. Thank you guys, man. Stay tapped in, tuned in. If there's anything else that happens concerning the story, we're definitely going to bring you guys the breaking news. Thank you. We're out.